श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनश्वन्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीरामवित्रयवतु। गणेशाय नमः, सरस्वत्यै नमः, श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। ॐ तच्छ्रेयोरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः। स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजं शं नो अस्तु द्विपदे शं चतुष्पदे। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात् स भूमिं विश्वतो कृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुलं पुरुष एवेदं सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यं पुरामृतत्वस्येषानः यज्ञेनाधिरोहति एतावानस्य महिमा अतो जायातुश्च पुरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वाभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि त्रिपादोर्ध्व उदैः पुरुषः पादोऽस्येहा भवात् पुरः ततो विश्वन्यक्रामत् शासनानशने अभि तस्मात् विराट जायत विराजो अधिपुरुषः स जातो अत्यरिच्यत पश्चात् भूमिमतो पुरः यत्पुरुषेण हविषा देवा यज्ञमतन्वता वसन्तो अस्यासीदाज्यम् ग्रीष्म इद्मः शरद्रविः सप्तास्यासन् परिधयः त्रिसप्तसमिरकृताः देवा यज्ञं तन्वानाः अबध्नन् पुरुषं पशुं तं यज्ञं बर्हिषि प्रोक्षन् पुरुषं जातमग्रतः तेन देवा अयजन्त साध्या ऋषयश्च ये तस्मात् यज्ञात् सर्वभूतः संवृतं त्रिशताज्यं पशुगुष्टागुष्ट विद्वानमृत इह भवति नान्यः पन्था विद्यते येनाय प्रजापतिश्चरति गर्भे अन्तः अजायमानो बहुधा विजायते तस्य धीरा परिजानन्ति योनिम् मरीचीनां पदमिच्छन्ति वेदसः यो देवेभ्यः आतपति यो देवानां पुरोहितः पूर्वो यो देवेभ्यो जातः नमो रुचाय ब्राह्मणे रुचं ब्राह्मं जनयन्तः देवा अग्रे तदब्रुवन् यस्त्वैवं ब्राह्मणो विद्यात् तस्य देवा असन्वशे ईशते लक्ष्मीश्च पत्न्यौ अहोरात्रे पार्श्वे नक्षत्राणि रूपम् अश्विनौ व्यातम् विश्वं मणिषाणा अनु मणिषाणा सर्वं मणिषाणा तच्चयोरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये वैरी स्वस्तिरसुरः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु देशजं शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शं चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ यो मां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा महाराजाय प्रसन्न साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यम् कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यः भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तुते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ओम् तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Om Shri Sai Ram. Om Shri Sai Ram. That's better. Before we commence our program for tonight, we would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that we are gathered here on today. We would like to pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. My humble salutations at Swami's lotus feet. Today, it's been 12 years since Swami has left his physical form. Just feels like recent, but time has gone and Swami has made it so. With all the guidance, all the love that he has given us, we, the devotees of the Victorian Sai Global Council, we have gathered here with a garland of our love, the way we can give Swami our gratitude in the form of songs, experience sharing, and bhajans. Without further ado, we would like to commence the program with Swami's blessings today. And as I said, Swami has always guided us, and we cannot thank him enough. And the humanly way that we can show our gratitude to him is the way we understand how we will feel when somebody comes in and says nice things to us. So we have collected a program that includes a few songs, which we will go through later on. Before that song, there was, as you all know, we have gone through these times of COVID and things had stopped for a while. It was at standstill. All the functions had been at standstill, but now we are fortunate enough to gather here, and we thank Swami for that as well. In late 2021, Swami planted a seed of thought in someone's mind that we should visit Parthi. And that started flowering, and it blossomed into a beautiful tree called the Parthi Pilgrimage 2022. And most of the devotees from all over, it became a Zone 3 event, which includes Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, and Fiji. And most of the devotees present here, some of them have had the opportunity to join them. And today we would like to call upon some of the devotees who went on this trip to come and share their experiences and what they went through with this program, it was a mixture of, because it happened during Christmas time, so it was a mixture of Christmas carols, international choir, and then our children also, from the zone, presented a play, which we would show you snippets later of the play. But before that, I would like to call upon the panel, who I would like to to share their experiences with us. We have none other than Auntie Angie from Epping Center. We have Brother Nilayam, Sister Lakshmika, Brother Adarsh, Sister Malini, and Sister Shubha. So, because it was Christmas time, we had the opportunity to participate in the international choir as well, and we had the opportunity to do Christmas carols near the Sannidhi as well. And the play was divided into different portions because the whole of Zone 3 was involved, and we had New South Wales performing two skits, two parts of the skit, and then Victoria had one portion of it, New Zealand had one portion. Total of 4 plays, we all garlanded together and presented to Swami in one big play. And with New South Wales, if you can all see, if you can stop on this slide, there's a story behind this. The bus was part of New South Wales play, and when they had the script written, they thought that they will have this trip where a group of devotees go to see Swami in Prasanthi. And they wanted the children to be seated in the bus like how they do to portray that scene. And so they were looking for ideas. They thought Prasanthi will have something, especially when the boys do a lot of drama there. They asked the council, there was nothing. So they got hold of a local guy to weld something up like a frame, and they could put the vinyl around it to make it look like a bus. So the plan was to put 2 chairs on the sides and have a pathway for the kids to walk in and then sit like a proper bus. They decided to have a 5.8 by 5.8 by 5.8, and the measurements were given to the guys, and they went and explained what we want. So they said okay, but he cut all the steel bars and all the iron rods and whatever to the size. When he fixed it up, he measured it up. It came up to be 4.8. So then the dilemma started. How will we fit 2 chairs on each side and have the space for the kids to walk in? And the chairs were those plastic chair kinds, which is a bit wider. So they couldn't physically fit the 2 chairs in. And so they were saying, what will we do now? So they made the kids stand up. They said, we just stand up and show that you are in the bus. That's it. And so they forgot about that. We couldn't fit chairs and all. And Prasanthi, we had a backdrop which had the slides running, and it was a digital backdrop. And normally they have a huge one in the thing, so we were. Or probably the smaller one. And this time they hired something from outside, and they had a huge one. And the gap that was there for the bus, so we were, while practicing, we had like 6 people dismantling the bus and then taking it on the stage for the prop and arranging it there, and then dismantling it again after the scene. We had like a minute to do that. And every time we did it, we went over a minute because it was so hard to put it all together. It was came in 3 pieces, but then there was things to be fit in and locked in so that it sits properly as a square and doesn't fall on the children. We had practiced it time and around and got it down to 30 seconds. So we could do it in 30 seconds. But when we went to the hall the night before to do the play, like a practice on in Prasanthi, in front of the Sannidhi, it was measured, the bus, it was the gap that from the screen to the wall was exact 4.2. So that's how Swami made it possible. He didn't go with our measurements. Swami made sure that the bus comes to that exact measurement so that it can fit into that gap and go. So this doesn't stop here. After the play, the play actually had the bus gets some technical difficulties, and the devotees have to look for mechanic and get the bus repaired before they actually can proceed to Parthi. So that was part of the play. After the play finished, one of the devotees from the crowd came and asked the New South Wales people, when did you write this play? So they said this play was written about a year ago, almost a year ago, like 6, 7, 8 months before. And we have been practicing this play. They said because this same thing happened to us on the trip that we just took. They had a bus and it broke down. So it brought back a lot of memories. They said exact same thing happened and we had to change buses, we had to look for mechanic in the middle of nowhere. And this is just assuring us how Swami knows everything and how Swami looks after everything, looks after you. And without further ado, I would like to go on to the questions that we have for the panel. I will start off. We should. Can we have the mics ready for? You have the mics ready? Yeah, thank you. I'll start with Auntie Angie. Thank you for joining us today. For me, as soon as the trip was announced, I said, yes, Swami, I want to come. And he made it happen. So I was fortunate enough to join the group. Would you share your experience as to how it happened for you?
Sai Ram, my loving salutations at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Swami. It was a little different for me. I was in a meeting with the National Education team, and we were told that 6 children have registered from Victoria East, and there were still no education coordinators or any SSC teachers. So the National Education Coordinator, Brother Chris Naidu, suddenly said, "Are you coming?" And there was a very spontaneous yes out of me. And then he said, "Good, you can lead the Victoria team." I was rather surprised because I had not given any thought to about going on this or coming on this trip. And more importantly, I had not discussed it with my husband whether we should go. But immediately I knew that Swami wanted me to go. And it was he who blurted out this yes from me. So it was late, the meeting ended quite late, and I didn't have the time to ask my husband, we had already gone to bed. So the next morning, I said to him that, this trip is coming up, would you like to go? And he said, yes, we can go. Of course, I didn't tell him that I already said yes at the meeting the night before. So I thank Swami for this opportunity and for guiding me and being with me. His presence I felt through many experiences on this journey to Parthi. I would also like to cherish all the wonderful weekly trips that we made to Subha and Mahen's place for our practices. The amazing children that I had the opportunity to work with, and their awesome parents, and a very pleasant Sister Chitra, the Victoria Region East Education Coordinator. It was a circle of love that we shared and experienced all together. And of course, the climax was the offering of the play by our children, not just Victoria children, but all the children of Zone 3, Australia and New Zealand together in the Sai Kulwant Hall in Parthi. Sairam.
Thank you, Auntie. It was indeed a blessing to have you as a guidance with us. Brother Nilay, this was your first ever group trip, I should say, to Prasanthi. You have been there before. What have you learnt out of it, or what has come out of it for you?
Saram, everyone. So I have been to Parthi twice before I went for the pilgrimage last year. So the first time I went, I was 6 years old in 2011, and the second time was when I was 9 years old in 2014. So both of those times I had stayed outside of the ashram. So the pilgrimage last year was the first time I stayed in the ashram, and also the first time I went in a group as well. So my experiences were quite different to what I'd seen before. So some things I found different were that I got to meet a lot of new people, and also that we got to participate in a lot of group activities as well, such as the practices for the offering, and also we had workshops as well. So I found that really helpful on focusing on Swami as well. And also staying inside the ashram allowed me to focus on Swami instead of getting distracted away from other things. And also the part I took in the trip was I was given the opportunity to play tabla and dholak on 3 given opportunities. So the first time was when I played tabla for the morning bhajans on the 26th of December. And then I played dholak for the evening bhajans on the same day, and also for the musical offering as well. So prior to the offerings, we had practices in Parthi that were around 3 to 4 hours each day, as well as the practices we had in Victoria and Australia for the other people who came from the other states. So what I learned from the practices is that the importance of teamwork, and also how you have to do your best in everything you do. And also in Parthi, it's not just about doing your best there, but it's also about doing your best everywhere. So when I was given the opportunity to play, I was a bit nervous, but it was also exciting at the same time as well. And also I found that the energy was completely different to what I had experienced before as well. And I really enjoyed playing. After the first few bhajans, the nervousness went away, so it was really nice to play there. So it was amazing to be part of that small group who got to perform the offerings to Swami. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Nilay. Sister Lakshmika, you were part of the SSC, but you did get involved in a few things during that trip in there. You were part of the international choir, you were running through practices, from practices to practices to practices constantly. How did you manage that, and what you got out of it? And do you have a message for the rest of the parents here or the SSC children who are listening who probably missed out on the trip and would like to join the future upcoming trips, if there is any?
Om Shri Sairam, everyone. So for the International Choir and the SSC Pilgrimage, originally the plan was I had to choose one or the other. There was no option. I remember an instance where another girl wanted to do both, but she had to choose between one. And then this moment always makes me think, why me? Why did Swami want me to keep having faith in him, believing in him that I can do both? And at the end, he wanted me to do both, so I managed to do International Choir and the SSC play. But for all the parents out there, I think the main message is if we have faith in Swami, if we keep believing in him, that whatever we want, our dreams will always come true, because he knows what will happen for us. It's just a test and we have to pass that. I don't really have much to say, Uncle, but that's all. So, Om Sai Ram.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Lakshmika. Being the seniors of the SSC, I should say, you and Brother Adarsh here, you did a fantastic job in looking after the younger ones as well when you were practicing and all. So thank you very much for that. Moving on to Brother Adarsh. Now you came into Swami's fold quite late in your life. In fact, when Swami had left his physical form. I can't imagine that someone can have so much faith in something that you haven't seen. I mean, we haven't seen Rama, Krishna, and all these forms, but we were born into it, so it was easy to probably start from childhood. But you came quite late, and this was your first trip as well to Prasanthi. Would you like to elaborate on your trip and enlighten us in what you went through and how it strengthened your faith in Swami?
Sairam, everyone. I'd like to offer my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of Swami. So as Uncle already mentioned, I came to Swami after Swami had left his physical form. So I couldn't really have the chance to look at Swami in real life and really experience his miracles like physically and actually being inside Kuala Lumpur. But that didn't make my faith in Swami any less. I still completely believe in Swami, and this was because every instant Swami proved to me that he's always there for me, and he always cares for me, and he always loves me, and I always love him too. So my involvement in the pilgrimage was as part of the SSC drama, and I was also part of the Vedam. So my highlights of the trips would be that obviously performing in front of Swami in Kuala Lumpur was an experience I would never forget, and kind of sends goosebumps down your body, how close you can get to the altar. And even if Swami wasn't there, you could really feel that Swami was watching you like a loving mother, always being proud of whatever you do. So I also another highlight would be Suprabhatham. Waking up in the morning was definitely a little bit of a hassle, but when you actually go and sit in the mandir and you go into that different different mode where everyone starts chanting OMs together, all in one voice, and no matter how sleepy you are, you suddenly get awake in a click of a second. So that that was a really cool experience. And I noticed every time after Suprabhatham, the day that followed was like always so good. Like everything that happened, I was like always happy the entire time. And like it was a really fun day. And like that was my experience for like the whole of Prasanthi. And like being my first time going there, like when I went to Prasanthi, like I really noticed the power of it like the first time I entered. So I was driving up to Prasanthi in the car with my family, and there was so much noise that was around it. So there was like cars honking, dogs barking, street vendors yelling. It was like pure chaos. But as soon as I like stepped into Prasanthi, it was like fully silent, and it was like so peaceful and calm. And this wasn't just for the humans as well, but like also the animals there. Like there was no fights with like between the dogs. It was just so cool. I like how even the like animals were enjoying Swami's company. The main message or like the learning which I got from this trip would be that whatever happens, it is all Swami's like plan. It's like sometimes things won't go the way you would like them to. As like Uncle already mentioned, the experience of like the New South Wales bus. They wanted 5.2 meters, but they got 4.9. But then like it worked so perfectly, and that was all Swami's master plan. So like we should always know that we should never lose faith in Swami, and always like just love him no matter what result you get. Even if it's bad, it's what's best for you. All in all, I'd like to thank Swami for this opportunity, and also for allowing me to go to Parthi. As Swami says, not even an ant can go into Parthi without his will. So thanks, Swami. Thanks. Sorry.
Thank you. We know that Swami, walking the path is not that easy if we choose that path. And sometimes it's there's difficulties, there's thing. But he says, if you do my work, I will look after you. Sister Malini, you have been on so many trips. Like every trip that happened from Victoria or Australia, you were there. And of course, you have been to Parthi almost every year as well. I know every trip, even if we go to the same place every time, each trip is different. And you did, I saw you do a lot this time as well. From our side, from the Victorian side, you were there always, and you were always stuck in that small room called the office, so-called. And you missed darshans, you missed so many, you never attended any practices, nothing at all. How did you manage, and how did you manage to look after yourself, in fact, during these times?
Thanks, Mahen. I offer my most humble pranams to our most beloved Lord, Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Sai Ram, everyone. So, Mahen, as you said, I've been on many trips to Prasanthi, many group pilgrimages, but every pilgrimage is so different, so unique, and I'm sure we all relate to that. So this time I was invited to join the logistics team for the pilgrimage, and in particular look after the accommodation side of things as well as the logistics team. And so in the lead up to the trip, part of my role was to ring around each of the families and individuals traveling to the pilgrimage to understand their accommodation requirements, but also to explain to them how that would work in Prasanthi. But what this led to is, because so many people hadn't traveled because of COVID, there was such anticipation and excitement of reaching Prasanthi, and people shared so many amazing, beautiful experiences that was so inspirational and uplifting just in the lead up to getting to Prasanthi. And then when we were in Prasanthi, as Mahen said, we had one of the rooms that we'd converted to be kind of, we called it the office, but it was like a help desk. Anything people needed, they could come to that room. And most of my day was spent pretty much from about 6:30 in the morning till about 9:30, 10 at night. I did get to some darshans, but not all, so that was kind of most of my day. And part of the team's role was to also distribute saris. So the group had saris, and for Christmas there was a special sari that was donated, which was to be worn on Christmas morning So not for the morning darshan, but for the carols that happen after Nagar Sankirtan. And the group was very privileged that we were given the opportunity to lead the carols. So we'd been distributing the saris from the office, and we were short. We knew everyone, all the sisters hadn't received one. So every day we were waiting for a delivery to come so everyone could receive this sari. So we got to Christmas Eve, so on the 24th of December. And for those of you who know me, I'm not so much into wearing saris. They're not, you won't see me very often in a sari. I've got one on today. And a few people, someone came along and said, "Sairam sister, are you all ready for tomorrow?" And I said, "Oh, what do you mean?" And she's like, "Have you got your sari ready? Your fall done, your edging done?" And I said, "No, I actually hadn't even removed it out of the plastic. Like, it was sitting in my room just as it was." So I said, "No," but I said, "It's fine. I will just wear it as it is." And through the day, not one, but multiple people came up to me and asked me if I was ready for the next day. To the point where I kind of thought, why are they all asking me if I'm ready, with my sari? But then the thought went. At about 9:30 at night, so this is Christmas Eve, the extra saris arrived, the 20 to 25 saris we were waiting for. And obviously time was of the essence because they needed to be worn the next morning. So my job was to go and distribute it to the people who were waiting for the saris. And we had a list of, which room, who needed the saris. So off I went to distribute them. And I got towards the end, and I knocked on one of the doors, and I knew it was a sister from Perth, and according to my list, she needed 2 saris. So when she opened the door, I said, "I've got your 2 saris." She said, "I've already got my saris. You've made a mistake. I've already collected 2. So I said, "Oh, okay," because that was the only one that wasn't, not properly accounted for. And then, so I said, "Okay," and I was about to go, and she said, "Actually, I only needed 1 sari, but I've got 2. So I said, "Okay." And then she said, "And I got my edging and my fall and everything done for my sari, and then I got the edging and the fall and everything done for the second sari." She said, "I thought there might be someone in this group who hasn't had a chance to go and do that, and they may need this sari." And honestly, before she could finish speaking, the words blurted out of my mouth. I said, "I think that's me." And she happily exchanged the sari, and I had a beautifully edged fall sari ready to wear for the next morning. And it was such a small thing, but it was such a strong reminder that, Swami takes care of every little thing. It was such a small thing to have this sari done. And Swami always says, "If you do my work, I'll take care of your every little need." But more than that, when I thought about it further, I thought, for Swami to remind me of this message, he had lined it up beautifully. He had sent reminders, was I ready for the next day? There was a mistake in who needed the saris. This person had already taken the 2 saris and got 1 edge. So the other message that came for me from that was, Swami is the doer, and everything is planned perfectly, and he is, as we say, the director of this play. So that was just one small example when you were asking how did we manage everything, because Swami actually is the doer and is taking care of every single thing.
Thank you. Such a reassurance of what Swami has said, Swami's words, and dwelling on the same. We do plan a lot of things in our life, and especially for this trip, we had prepared that we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll be part of this, we'll be part of this, as Lakshmika had planned to be part of 2 things, and it worked out for her. It didn't so happen for so many of us, probably. And Sister Shubha, one of your experiences such as well. Would you like to share that experience with us as to when Swami gave you when he put you on the crossroads and made you choose?
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Sai Ram, everyone. Ooh, difficult question, and I've been thinking about this for a long time because I was told that this is going to come up. We all go to Swami's place with a thought. We want to do this, we want to do that. So that would be the same for me as well. And however, in my relationship with Swami, he always will tell me, Mata Pita Guru Devam. No matter how much I come across and I have an argument or a quarrel with my mom or dad, growing up, he'll come back and tell me, whether it's my dreams or it's a book I read or a message that comes through, he'll say, it's Mata Pita Guru Devam. You're never going to win. And I said this before in one of the youth satsangs that we had recently as well. And so when it came to this where just before the incident where I had to choose, we had, every evening in Parthi, we had satsangs. And we used to have someone come and speak to us. And it's late in the evening, I was so tired, and sometimes whatever they speak just, it didn't register, like I didn't hear it or just, but one word that this brother said, he talked about mother, and he said about how important her role is. And he said that you'll only have one mother in this whole world, in this lifetime. So then, and that sentence stuck. So I'm thinking, because I know Swami, this is my relationship with him, where if something like this comes and it sticks in my head, that means something is coming up, or I have to be cautious about something. So go worry it first, and then I thought, okay, so let it pass, because I was so busy being in Parthi with a lot of things going on. And then my mom, who was with us in the trip, she fell sick. And she felt really sick. And then I had to choose, because I was helping out in the SSC practices, and the kids, thinking about their drama. I had 2 young boys as well. Was involved also in the songs, which, as we all know, that it's a lot of practices and commitment. So I had to come to a point where I had to choose. And everyone wants to be in Parthi to sing in front of Swami. Everyone wants this golden opportunity to sit in the front, get all these special lines, special privileges to be in the front. And the amount of practices that we did, leading on to this as well, the sacrifices that you do. So hence, oh my God, am I going to give this up, or am I going to look after my mom? And so it came to a point that was getting so difficult, and I was torn between my duty and my wants or my wishes. And then I said one day to Mahen, I said, and I said, I can't do these anymore. I need to give one up, and I've decided that I'm not going to be in the song group instead. I need to do this for Mom, because I can't do it. And once I made that decision though, the immense peace that set in is unbelievable. And I felt so happy, because I thought, it's a happiness that I cannot even explain to you. It's not as if a happiness where you score something really high, or it's an immense bliss and happiness that settles in, that tells you that, I've done the right, I've made a right choice. And hence I had to do that in this particular trip. But saying that, I just want to say, when I decided to do this also, one brother in the group, he came and saw me personally, and he said to me, "Sister, why are you doing this?" And he said to me, "I've been a Swami student, and I have wanted to sing in his presence all my life, and I got this opportunity, this trip, but even in this trip now, I can't do it. And you are saying no to sing when you have the opportunity to sing." And that started me thinking, like, oh my God, am I making the right decision again? Like, again, coming back to say, should I go back to my and say, no, I'll do it. But eventually, I went back. I said, I'll think about it. I went back. And quiet peace time, just me and Swami, talking to him, what should I do, Swami? And it was so easy decision to make that I didn't need to do this. My duty, I'm a daughter, this is my duty, is I need to do this in Prasanthi. I have to look after my mom, and I have to give up my desire, my wish, my want. My one thing that probably I wanted to do is to give up singing there and look after my mom. So it was a happy decision, no regrets, nothing. And I'm so glad I could make it in a very nice feeling that I was happy. So.
Thank you. And just quickly, I give you 2 more minutes, just a short answer from you. People have heard stories from you, yes, Shubha. People have heard stories from you. They say prayers, no matter when you pray, it might not be answered immediately. And it could be answered years and years later. But a prayer is a prayer that you have for God. You have an experience that people would want you to share just quickly with us. We don't have much time. Thanks.
Okay. This is a prayer. Like a lot of young girls, Indian girls like myself, we would have gone through this when we can't find our life partner, or we take a while to find our life partner. And I had that kind of a stress from my family, from my mom. And I remember going to Parthi every time and standing in front of, in front of Parthi, for those of you who have been there, the Ram, Lakshman, Sita, right in the front. So every time after I did my morning Ganesh prayer and everything, I'll come in front there and I'll stand there and I'll used to pray and say this. I'll say that if this is meant to be, again, power of mind is very strong and I'm very cautious because I've learned that by experience. So hence, I will not pray and ask or want something. I will always tell Swami that if it is meant for me, give it to me. If it's not meant for me, it's okay. Right? So hence, that used to be my prayer in front of Ram, Lakshman and Sita, that Swami, if there is someone in this life for myself, please give me a good man. I want a good person that will be able to, for my life as a life partner. And at a point, it used to be just a good person. At a point, then came that has to be someone that believes in you, Swami, because will not happen. So this is year by year, every time, or every trip. This is the trip. And another thing that I used to say to Swami is, I love the Indian culture, but I myself do not know it very well. So it has to be a partner that is very well cultured and knows these things, so he can help me and guide me in this. So this is only the things that I wanted. So every year, this is literally it at Ram, Lakshman and Sita's statue. And came a day when my family found me someone. So, and then they are going to meet him and introduce him to me. But before that, they're going to meet him. And the day they meet him is actually on Ram Navami Day, and when he is actually reciting the Ramayana. And he of course eventually happened to be my husband, but it's just how it happened. Like, it just happened so nicely where you ask Swami something, but only if it's right for you, because it's very important, and it eventuated in such a manner. So that's the only thing.
Thank you. Thank you for all of you for sharing your personal experiences. Some of it is very personal, but thank you very much. Moving on, they say love arranged into... Now you can go back to your seats. Sorry. They say love arranged in notes becomes music. And what other way to express our love to Swami but music itself? So here we present a garland of songs to our beloved Swami. Swami, I hope you enjoy this as well.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Dearest Sai Ma, we have all gathered tonight to commemorate 12 years of you leaving your physical form. As much as we have all now taken to an inward journey to reach you, there is still an aching, a yearning to experience your form. We pine to come and sit in the darshan lines, eagerly awaiting to see your beautiful smile. We do not know of any tantra, mantra, or ritualistic worship. We only know you. O Master, show us some compassion and come fill our eyes with your form and our hearts with love only for you.
Karo
is the most compassionate and beautiful form that moves in front of our eyes. You have filled us with yourself. We know that you are the love that responds to every call of ours. We now understand the journey has always been internal. We are the honeybees that incessantly search for nectar. You are the lotus whose heart is filled to the brim with the nectar of love. We are the rivers on mountaintops that keep gushing through valleys and forests, searching for you. You are the ocean that shines resplendently, blessing us always. You are our life. You are our everything.
Ella
Swami, we are lost in the depths of your love. As we sit here today, we reflect on how fortunate and blessed we are to be in your presence, to hear your words, and to feel your love. Every flower gains its fragrance from you, and every heart gains its beat from you. All our lives gain life from you. Your every word, Sai, mesmerizes us, and we cannot escape from your thoughts. May we reflect on your words, meditating on them constantly, hoping to become one with you. Swami, your words are bliss, your truth is bliss. With this final offering, may we all bathe in your glory tonight.
दुनिया भर के लोग यहाँ झोली पहनाए आते हैं। तेरे कदमों में अर्पण करने हम दिल का नजराना जाए हैं। हाँ, तेरे दरबार में हम आए हैं आज, तेरे दरबार में हम आए हैं आज। हर पल ये दिल में रहे, याद रहे हरदम हरदम। हाँ, तेरे दरबार में हम आए हैं आज, तेरे दरबार में हम आए हैं आज। दुनिया भर के लोग यहाँ झोली फैलाए आते हैं। दुनिया भर के लोग यहाँ झोली फैलाए आते हैं। तेरे कदमों में अर्पण करने, तेरे कदमों में अर्पण करने दिल का नजराना लाए हैं। हाँ, दुनिया भर के लोग यहाँ, दुनिया भर के लोग यहाँ, दुनिया भर के लोग यहाँ, दुनिया भर के लोग यहाँ अपनी मोहब्बत का इजहार करने तेरे जलवे का दीदार करने। हाँ, तेरे दरबार में हम आए हैं आज, तेरे दरबार में हम आए हैं आज। मौका ऐसा मिले न मिले याद रख लो हरदम। हाँ जी हाँ, मिले न मिले याद रख लो हरदम। हाँ जी हाँ, मिले न मिले याद रख लो हरदम। याद रख लो दिल में से, याद रख लो दिल में से, याद रख लो, याद रख लो, याद रख लो कि याद रखने की बात आती है कहाँ।
साई के दर पे आकर साथ उनकी रहकर, बात उनकी सुनकर, नजर से नजर मिलाकर
मैं भूलूं कैसे, मैं भूलूं कैसे। आए, ये मर्जी उनकी है, हम उनकी राह में नजर बिछाए जाते हैं। या अल्लाह, तेरी हर बात अल्लाह याद आए दिन रात साई, तेरी याद अल्लाह खूब सताए दिन रात साई। जाने कहाँ तेरे बिना अब याद तेरी सताए, जाने कहाँ तेरे बिना अब याद तेरी सताए। दर पे तेरे आकर हमने जीवन के हर सुख पाए, दर पे तेरे आकर हमने जीवन के हर सुख पाए। जाए कहाँ तेरे बिना, जाए कहाँ तेरे बिना या अल्लाह, तेरी हर बात अल्लाह याद आए दिन रात साई, तेरी याद अल्लाह खूब सताए दिन रात साई।
प्यार की गहराई में, तेरे प्यार की गहराई में, प्यार की गहराई में, तेरे प्यार की गहराई में।
इतना खो जाता हूँ मैं, इतना खो जाता हूँ मैं, इतना खो जाता हूँ मैं कि भूल जाता हूँ कि तेरे पास हूँ या दूर हूँ। भूल जाता हूँ कि तेरे पास हूँ या दूर हूँ, कि भूल जाता हूँ कि तेरे पास हूँ या दूर हूँ। अल्लाह अल्लाह तेरी हर बात अल्लाह याद आए दिन रात साई, तेरी याद अल्लाह खूब सताए दिन रात साई।
जाए कहाँ,
जाए कहाँ
तेरे बिना,
तेरे बिना, जाए कहाँ अल्लाह। मौका ऐसा मिले ना मिले याद रख लो हरदम, हाजी हाँ मिले ना मिले याद रख लो हरदम। तेरे दरबार में हम आए हैं आज, तेरे दरबार में हम आए हैं आज, तेरे दरबार में हम आए हैं आज। महकती हर चमन की महक तुझसे है, महक तुझसे है, महक तुझसे है। धड़कती हर दिलों की धड़क तुझसे है, धड़क तुझसे है, धड़क तुझसे है। जिंदा जिंदगी की जान तुझसे है, जान तुझसे है, आन तुझसे है, शान तुझसे है। तेरे दरबार में हम आए हैं आज, तेरे दरबार में हम आए हैं आज।
पल पल ये दिल में रहे,
याद रहे हरदम हरदम हाँ। तेरे दरबार में हम आए हैं आज, तेरे दरबार में हम आए हैं आज। मौका ऐसा मिले ना मिले याद रख लो हरदम, हाँ जी हाँ मिले ना मिले याद रख लो हरदम।
याद रख लो दिल में से,
याद रख लो दिल में से, याद रख लो, याद रख लो,
याद रख लो दिल में से,
याद रख लो दिल में से, याद रख लो, याद रख लो,
याद रख लो दिल में से,
याद रख लो दिल में से, याद रख लो, याद रख लो, याद रख लो।
Swami, we hope you enjoyed that rendering of our love to you. Next we have Uncle Jeyapalan, and he is a well-known figure in the Sai world. Uncle Jeyapalan has been with Swami for 22 years and has held many senior roles in the organization, including the National Devotional Coordinator as well. He has written the study cycle series, if you didn't know, on the Sai lifestyle based on the 5 human values and pathways to God based on Prema Vahini. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Uncle Jeyapalan to please address us with Swami's words and his wisdom, whatever he has for us today. Sai.
At the lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. There is nothing greater than being in the presence of the Supreme. It is also equally great to be with his devotees. Loving Sai Ram to all. Swami sang, "Love is my form, truth is my breath, and peace is my food." The topic given to me today is "Truth is my breath." Bhagavan has given hundreds of lines on truth alone. He said, "Truth without love is scorching heat." And he also said, if love without truth is a fleeting desire. And so on and so forth. He has mentioned many lines in truth. All these phrases need to be experienced. Otherwise, it just remains as words in a line. Truth. What is truth? Anything that changes in life is not true. In life, we have conversations, discussions, debates, at work, life, social, and it all changes after some time. So it cannot be true. So what is truth? To me, truth is God. So, my Bhagavan, with his grace, gave me that experience that truth is God. So here, I want to recall a speech given by Sri Vedanarayan, who visited Sydney. I'm sure he came to Melbourne also, a couple of years ago. And he brings out a scenario that when Bhagavan come through the bhajan, darshans, and he picks somebody and says, "Go for the interview room." So this person is so thrilled and elated that he's been called for an interview. We all yearn for the interview. I never got one. But this person gets so elated and he's thrilled, he springs up on his feet and he moves and he's following Swami into the interview room. And Vedanarayan very funnily said, this person doesn't understand the door is being shut behind him. As he moves into the room, the door is shut. Let alone the wooden door, even the virtual door is shut behind him. Just think about for a while. We are all in the same scenario. We say yes to Swami, and he enters the room here. This is the interview room. And you are with him one-on-one. And Swami's mission is to weed us out and purify every one of his devotees, taking all the sanskars out from the past births. And it goes on and on and on. And to me, it was full of drama with him, because I have to go through my own experiences to let go everything that I have had in my mind and surrender to him. And a lot of dramas and a lot of pains and a lot of traumas. After all that drama, Bhagavan was there, and for me, my love to Bhagavan and my faith to Bhagavan has never changed. So the only thing that has never changed is God. And my humble pranams to Bhagavan to have given me that experience. That truth is only God. Once when I was in Parthi, I was walking around after darshans and bhajans. I walk around in the mandir, and I felt the taste of vibhuti on my tongue. It lasted for 2 days. I never tossed any vibhuti in my mouth, but I tasted vibhuti on my tongue. And the function of this tongue is to taste and to speak. So when I came back home, I was trying to find out the real meaning of vibhuti. So when you ask people, what is the significance of vibhuti? The general answer we get is, it's a symbol that you will end up like. But I was not very satisfied with that explanation that people generally give. So I went on to investigate and search more about the Sanskrit word vibhuti. What does it mean? And what I found out was vibhuti means in glory of God in Sanskrit. And that's what Swami manifests all the time to people. So what descends on me is that this tongue will speak the glory of God all the time. And that's my happiness under the guidance of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. I had the opportunity to be in Rishikesh once. I always yearned to go to Rishikesh, and Swami blessed me to go. So I was in Parthi for Christmas, and then I proceeded to Rishikesh. And I met up with a yoga teacher. And both of us were seated on the banks of Ganges. And he said, "Sir, let us meditate." And he took me through the pranayama procedure. And we went on breathing and breathing and breathing and breathing, deeper and deeper. And at one point, I reached the point of thoughtlessness. There was no thought at all. And I could only hear the sound of the Ganges flowing, that's all. Absolutely quiet in my mind. Then this teacher opened his eyes and told me, "Sir, not everyone can fall in love with Krishna the way Radha did." I repeat that again. Not everyone can fall in love with Krishna the way Radha did. For them, this is the path. This is another path. This is called Patanjali Yoga. And Swami has narrated a lot about Patanjali Yoga. So you go deeper and deeper into silence and go into the bliss state. and you see the divine. So I asked him, if someone has already seen the divine, fallen in love with the divine, do you need this process? And he said, no sir, that is the royal path. And he smiled, and he knew where I am coming from. And I was introduced to his guru, Rishi, and I went to his ashram, and we sat together, and he spoke in length about Bhagavan. That how many times he had been to Parthi for guidance. And Swami sent me for me to learn from Rishikesh. So I just want to conclude with one unique experience I had a couple of years ago in Sydney. My neighbor one day called me and said, there is a wasp nest built up on the outside of the eaves, on the high roof. And it's pretty dangerous. And he was so worried that his little daughter is playing on the other side. And we need to do something about it because wasps are very dangerous, they can get stung. So my wife and I, we discussed about this. I don't know what to do with this. This is at a high level. Anyway, I took some preparations. I prepared a water jet, took a ladder, climbed up the ladder, switched off all the lights. It was 9 o'clock in the night so that the wasps can't see because they are blind in the dark. So I set up the water jet and started hitting the water spray, aiming at this wasp nest. It didn't move. And I kept on hitting, and I was so tired. I'm 70 years old. And I had to balance on my ladder, and my wife was so terrified about the whole thing. And she's asking me to come down. I tried for about 10 to 15 minutes, nothing worked. The wasps were all hiding behind the nest, and it was growing big. So I dismantled everything, went to my room, and prayed to Bhagavan. I said, you are the creator. You create all these things. I can't do anything about this. I can find a way to kill them, but I don't want. Please do something about this, otherwise I have to face my neighbor. Guess what happened? The following morning, I was always working from home, so I had a bath, and from the bathroom I can see the wasp nest just there, just outside on the window. And we used to have two miners coming and playing in our backyard. You know, they come and suckle nectar from the flowers and all that. They have fun in my backyard. And now I'm having my shave, and my corner there, I'm looking at this wasp nest. And one miner came and circled around this wasp nest. It's been there for a while. Nobody noticed it, or the miner didn't notice it. And one miner came and flew around it, went and stood on the gutter and called the partner. And both came. And both just went and flew around for a while, and one hit, the whole nest was on the roof. Just the day after I asked Bhagavan to help me. And I was stunned, and my eyes were tearing, and I just opened the window, and this miner was standing at the gutter and looking at me like that, and flew away. This is what Swami is all about. He is truth, He is love. He creates it, He destroys it. He manifests, He creates dramas in front of us, and then He untangles the whole thing. Why? To my mind, He just wants to draw us towards Him out of pure love. All the dramas that's been created in front of us, in the world, or inside us, it's all just for one thing, is to draw us towards him. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you.
सुखदाई साई चरण सुखदाई साई चरण सुखदाई साई विराजिया क्या है साई विराजिया क्या है साई
Subramanyam, Subramanyam, Shanmaganatha, Subramanyam. Subramanyam, Subramanyam, Shanmaganatha, Subramanyam. Subramanyam, Subramanyam, Shanmaganatha, Subramanyam. Subramanyam, Subramanyam, Shanmaganatha, Subramanyam. Shiva, 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 Subramanyam, Hara, 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 Subramanyam. Om Shiva, 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 Subramanyam, Hara, 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 Subramanyam. Shiva, Shiva, Hara, Hara, Subramanyam, Hara, Hara, Shiva, Shiva, Subramanyam. Shiva, Shiva, Hara, Hara, Subramanyam, Hara, Hara, Shiva, Shiva, Subramanyam. Shiva Saravana Bhava Subramanyam, Guru Saravana Bhava Subramanyam. Jai Shiva Saravana Bhava Subramanyam, Guru Saravana Bhava Subramanyam. Om Shiva Saravana Bhava Subramanyam, Guru Saravana Bhava Subramanyam. Shiva Shiva Hara Hara Subramanyam, Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Subramanyam. Shiva Shiva Hara Hara Subramanyam, Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Subramanyam. Subramanyam, 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 Subramanyam. Jai Subramanyam, Subramanyam, Subramanyam. Om Subramanyam, Subramanyam, Subramanyam. Subramanyam, Subramanyam.